You've talked about a lot of relationships of your own as well. So are there elements of your life you wouldn't delve into for a song?
So far, no. Okay. If something bothers me, that's why I write about it.
Okay. So starting on Froot, then, what was the thing that was kind of bothering you when really at the start?
At the start, I think.
Did you have a thing in mind for the record?
No, not at all. I mean, even the song Froot wasn't written till the very end. Okay. So, I mean, the first song that I wrote was Gold. And that was in response to how I felt at the time about Electra Heart, because I was very much caught up in this world of my label trying to make the album a commercial success. And so, as you know, a normal person, I was kind of analysing what it means to feel successful and whether that mattered to me anymore. And I think I was realising that I actually didn't want what I thought I had originally wanted for myself, as you know, in my career.
Which was?
For the song Gold. Okay. And I think for my career I didn't really care about popularity, and that's when I understood that I didn't have to strive for that it didn't matter. And you know, it took a long time to reach that point and to realise that. Was
there something that happened that gave you this realization, something in particular?
Or yeah, just long-term pressure, like very, very long-term. As in 3 years of continuous pressure on myself and, you know, a natural pressure from other people, my team at the time. So it was kind of time to take another path.
When you went on this other path, what was writing like then? What was the pressure gone?
Yeah, I had a great time.
because some of the songs, well, the first track, Happy, obviously it tells about you being in a good place.
Yeah.
It talks about you being in a good place. So did that come from that initial moment?
Definitely. I mean, this Froot as an album is a product of that transition in my life. And it was a very important one. It was a completely life-changing transition for me. And I think with Electra Heart, I'm so glad that I've done that album, not just creatively, but because it made me see things in such an extreme way. Like sometimes things have to be pushed to the highest degree in order for you to be like, okay, I know that this isn't what I should be doing, and for you to choose what you rightly should be doing. So after Electra, I felt relieved because I was like, okay, I've tried the pop thing now. I've tried it. So it's almost like my desire for it had been quenched, and so I could move on and do something different that was way less high pressure and much more creatively satisfying.
And so is this then why you decided to write everything yourself?
Yeah, yeah.
And there's also an element because David Costin, he helped produce.
Yeah.
But I believe you recorded everything with a live band.
Yeah, and actually, it was like 70% live, 30% programming. So I didn't want it all to be live because I still like electronic music. But I really wanted the guitars and the drums to be live. So that's what we did.
Why? Why this change?
I think because with what I had done before, even on the Family Jewels, I always felt like, I don't know, there was a lot of reliance on synthetic sounds, which is fine and it can be really interesting, but I had done that already, so I felt like I didn't need to do that again. I was really craving to make a sound that felt a little bit more real and human. So you had that kind of, you know, raw feel, especially with the voice as well. That was important to me, because with Electra, because it was a contemporary pop record, it was like the voice was so smooth and so processed.
What do you hear then now when you listen back to Electra?
I love it.
Okay.
I still love it. And when I hear it, it's very indicative of that time, like Prima Donna, you know, it's produced by Dr. Luke, one of the biggest pop producers ever. And it's the sound of those times. Whereas now when I hear Froot, it's probably a little bit more towards the music that I would normally listen to, and it's probably a purer representation of myself as an artist.
And I read somewhere that you already were writing new songs to include on the repackaging. So how come with the last album, as soon as it's finished, you're already on to the next thing? So what do you want to add to Froot now?
Well, I've never done a repackage.
Okay.
And I feel like this is the one that I want to do on. I don't know why, I don't really have a reason, I'm not quite done. I would like to add some more songs to it, 4 or 5 more songs.
Do you think there's something missing on the album then?
No! That's why I didn't do a deluxe version either. I just wanted one version, 12 songs, and that's the classic version. Whereas with the repackage, it's got a little bit of a new name, and yeah, there were a few songs that I hadn't put on there because they weren't really finished and just didn't belong to it. But I think for this, they will be really fitting.
Okay. Finally then, is there one song on the record that sticks out for you?
Probably Happy.
Why?
Because I think it's most universal. Like, I think Savages is important for me at the moment because it's relevant for where we are at socially, but I think Happy is, you know, something that could still be relevant in 50 years or like 50 years ago. You know, it's a universal topic that you know, everybody can kind of relate to.
I wrote a line down from Happy. It's about, I think we touched upon it already, but I found what I've been looking for in myself, find a life worth living well,
for someone else.
Yeah. So do you remember that moment when you found that thing worth living for, in a sense? No, I don't remember that moment.
Was there a moment? No, it was more of a general feeling over a period of time. And actually with that song, I had the verse for like 4 or 5 months, and I didn't write that bit until way after, because I just, emotionally, I didn't really know what I wanted to say. I wasn't there yet.
Right.
So I just waited.
And when did you get there?
It was like 4 or 5 months later.
Okay. Thank you very much for
Thank you. It's a pleasure.